become the Beyonder Quantumania ending. Let's see what Marvel Super has to say about this and check this out.
Since the conclusion of the Infinity Saga dating all the way back to the first teaser trailers of Endgame, theories regarding Kang the Conqueror have been rampant throughout the MCU landscape. From the idea that the Avengers would use time travel to rectify the blip, numerous possibilities and theories followed closely thereafter regarding the most notorious time-traveling tyrant in Marvel's tenure. Recently, one particularly active theory has gained traction following a leak from My Time to Shine Hello, which seems to detail the introduction of the Beyonder, as well as some major changes from the source material, which will more closely relate to Kang and his variants. So, stick with us today, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse, and let's dive into this leak, the theory that it has spawned, and what we know of this idea thanks to the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Initially, the leak detailed the idea that the Beyonder would be reimagined into none other than a Kang variant played by Jonathan Majors, rather than the Beyonder being its own individual entity. This immediately sparked controversy among much of the fanbase given the Beyonder's importance to the Secret Wars comic line. Spoilers lie ahead for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Originally, this theory seemed to be rather far-fetched, but the ending to Quantumania may have lent some evidence to support this idea, and the idea that this prime warrior Kang is now the Beyonder, or is set to become the Beyonder. At the end, during the climactic confrontation between Scott Lang and Kang, the variant is sucked into the power core of his ship, known formally as the Multiverse Engine, and many believe that this particular variant is not dead. Since the Multiverse Engine has the ability to transport Kang's ships anywhere within time and space, it's reasonable that he himself might have been sent into another point in time-space. And one such idea is that he now inhabits the realm simply known as the Beyond. In the comics, this of course is the home of the Beyonder, and this will kickstart his transition into the MCU's iteration of this iconic character. In the original source material, the Beyond was a pocket dimension created by the Beyonders in order to store vast amounts of sentient energy. Within this realm, a child unit Beyonder was placed and left to grow up there, completely unaware that there was life outside of himself or that it existed for most of his lifetime, until an accident by the old Beyonders led him to discover the multiverse. After discovering realities beyond himself, he felt the first inkling of desire, and sought to understand what lay outside of his own pocket of reality. And this led into the iconic Battleworld storyline, from which many fans believe that the Secret Wars film will take influence from. If this theory is to be believed, however, then adjustments would have to be made in order to explain this transformation of the Beyonder. But let's explore how this might work out if it all ends up to be true, and if Prime Kang is in fact set to become this version of the character. First, this realm would have to grant Nathaniel Richards phenomenal cosmic power in order to contend with the Beyonder in the comics as he is known, and he would quickly become perhaps the most powerful variant of Kang in the entire multiverse. It would then have to explain how this Kang will be involved in the Secret Wars arc, which is a bit more difficult, but let's dive into and see if we can't unravel just how the multiversal saga may end. What makes this point of contention particularly complicated is the fact that we know how the multiverse saga actually ends since the end of Loki Season 1. We know that he who remains, using Alioth, is going to have to ravage and then reconstruct the multiverse from the ashes of the sacred timeline. So then, where does the Beyonder play into all of this? And more importantly, how would this particular version of Kang fit in still while feeling the role of the Beyonder? Logistically, it would make sense for He Who Remains to be the final antagonist, seeing the Avengers seeking to prevent him from destroying the multiverse yet again. And we believe that if the Beyonder is set to play a major role, and specifically this variant of the Beyonder is set to play a key role, then this would have to be after He Who Remains is successful. If He Who Remains is able to accomplish his goal, as we know he is destined to do as of right now, then it would leave several fan-favorite characters either homeless or on the verge of extinction. The Fox X-Men and the Fantastic Four, as well as both beloved Spider-Man standalone universes, and countless others would face imminent eradication, threatening the ultimate death of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine home timeline, and several others. Once the destruction of the multiverse ensues, however, it could theoretically be the prime opportunity for an adaptation of the Battleworld arc. If these characters are to survive, then what if it's in a place that exists outside of the multiverse, perhaps in a live-action adaptation of the Battleworld comic arc? From here, they could follow an iteration of the Battlelord storyline where the multiverse is undergoing reconstruction, which could be carried out in a few different ways. One idea is that Doctor Strange, partnering with his variants, will need to learn how to break an absolute point in time that we learned about in What If, doing so in order to prevent He Who Remains from succeeding. If this seed is paid off by concluding the multiverse saga, then it would allow Strange Supreme some redemption and allow the fabric of reality to be saved from another wave of destruction. Another option is that the Beyonder will rehome some of our favorite multiversal refugees until Loki and Sylvie arrive once again to kill He Who Remains this next time around. And from here, they can be rehomed after the next set of branching realities resumes, commencing the cycle over again while saving our favorite characters from their imminent demise. However, it may shape out that the question at the center of this idea is whether or not this is actually feasible. Can the character of the Beyonder be replaced by a variant of Kang and still create a story that makes cohesive sense and honors the source material? Given what we know, this seems like it would be perhaps the best way for this storyline to be adapted. And given the limited knowledge regarding what is to come, it's possible that this idea will evolve and change over time. So the true nature of this question is left up to you as an individual fan. Do you think that this would be an honorable adaptation of the Beyonder, one of the most powerful characters that have existed in Marvel Comics storyline? And do you think that the Prime Kang from Quantumania was transported to the Beyond and is set to learn new abilities and perhaps set him up as the final antagonist of the multiversal saga? Was this Prime Kang that we met in Quantumania way more important than we realize? And did Ant-Man actually spell the destruction of the multiverse itself? What are your thoughts on having a Kang variant become the Beyonder? And what powers do you think that he could be experiencing in the Beyond right now? Do you also believe that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania perfectly set up the Secret Wars storyline and the Battle World storyline? And is this Prime Kang set to be the final antagonist of the multiverse itself? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and I'll hopefully hear from you soon.
This is who I'd like to